girl who loves hearing about people's excuses of why they haven't done their inner work and trying to justify to me how their subconscious must have got it wrong when they were giving them examples of how to empower themselves. Bless. So cute. And this is part of our inner work journey, isn't it? Once we get given the information of what we should be doing from our recommendations from our subconsciouses, we get to choose. Do we get over our egos and accept that from their perspective, that is the best way for us moving forward? Or do we just assume that these high advanced multidimensional beings are just stupid idiots that have no clue about how our lives are, and they don't understand how difficult it is, and so therefore none of the information that they wanted to bestow on the clients were valuable. And in fact, the clients are quite happy living in their density and living in their lack of perspective, that they're going to dismiss it all. Fantastic, their choices and not really any of my responsibility. And so I always find it almost amusing when people try to justify what comes out of their own mouths through their higher selves or subconsciouses as they're channeling that information. Gets awkward because I remember what is said in sessions. And so when they come and tell me that they still want to keep on their medications because they believe it's the best thing for them, even though we explored that in quite severe details in their own quantum sessions, how their subconscious is saying it is screwing over your liver, it is screwing over your emotions, it's screwing over you. Really, these are not for you, they shouldn't be for you, and you would feel so much better if you chose to stop taking these certain medications and actually just started living responsibly, stop eating that sugar, stop doing those other recreational drugs, and actually honor the body. But a lot of people say, no, actually, no, I want to have all my bad behaviors and all my bad routines and input anything that I want to abuse my body with, but I want instant profound wisdom to you guys. I want to channel, I want this and this and this and a huge big sentence list. And you can't get that. You actually have to do all of the steps along your journey to get to where they want to go. And so the subconscious knows you very, very well, knows where your strengths are, know where your areas of work are. And, you know, they know you more than you know yourself. Because most of the time when people are looping and getting stuck, they're not being honest with themselves and seeing things with the bigger perspective. Now, many people think that they're being judged by their subconsciouses, and that is a really incorrect assumption. You are profoundly loved by all. You are completely and utterly loved by all, and they have no judgment on you. Even if you've heard them a few times and you've ignored it, when you do step up and when you do step into your own empowerment, they're right there supporting you along the way, and they're not holding any judgment or any disappointment or anything or even criticism. They're there to support you. Their role is to empower you. And they do it with their honesty and their integrity and their higher perspective. But many people want to even blame their subconscious for the challenges that they're in. And when you are on your own inner work journey and you fully take responsibility of all of your choices, because you've made all of those choices yourself, you may say, no, so-and-so made me, didn't want to do it. I was kicking and screaming the whole way through. Ultimately, that is just you disempowering yourselves with much love. And so once you realize that even if you are living with a prickly cactus, you can still have support and be able to share your truth if you come from a humbled, non-aggressive, non-reactive communication point and share your truth and honesty. And you may have to share your truth and honesty a few times to get the level of respect, understanding, and compassion, but you can't just try once and give up. Imagine if we all tried to do something once, and if it wasn't completely 100% successful, perfect, and we got a gold star and a world record medal for it. If we failed, Hold on, please. I have a visitor. And so I'm back. I had to pause that because my son was about to burst into the room and I know he's fully naked. And so it's not the videos that I'm doing. So anyway, I lost my train of thought, but it's about just being honest with yourselves. And so I did have some people messaging me because I think I did a Facebook post about Tylenol. Oh, I can't even pronounce it now. So sleeping tablets and pain tablets and antidepressant tablets. So all of those sort of medications we've heard in so many sessions that they want you to stop it and cut down. And so people were really angry because they need them, because their professional doctors told them that they should do it. And I just had to lovingly remind them what was said in this session, that your subconsciouses trump your doctors, with much love and respect to their industry. Now I know that I have fantastic friends who are doctors who are also my clients, and it is really extraordinary to know why many light workers are in the doctor's field. And I really want to call upon all doctors now who are noticing that certain medicines are severely impacting their clients. And we know in New Zealand, many doctors are trying to get exemptions for the third round of this medicine. They know many of their clients have had profound hospitalizations because of the first two, and they know that the government will not allow their clients to have exemptions. Come on, doctors. Where is your love and compassion for your clients? Why are you not all connecting together? Why are you not all uniting together? And why are you not standing up to this system that is very determined to disable, disempower, and seriously harm many people? Tell your truths. This is not a time to be shy. And I know personally clients here in New Zealand who are literally in this predicament. They cannot have the third one. The SC has said they will die if they have the third one. And now their doctor is a little bit frustrated because they know the government is not going to give my client, their client also, an exemption. So what does the doctor do? Accept that? And how do they advise their clients to now be not part of society? Because they don't have the vaccine passports that are up to date. So now they are not a team of 5 million. They are considered the scum of the earth in New Zealand class society. So how is this compassionate? How is this even professional? You have to be able to have a working system. And so I know that all of this is to awaken all those doctors, all these nurses. And as I have enjoyed spending many hours daily at the grounds in Parliament, talking to fantastic, amazing people from all professions, I have spoken to many doctors myself who cannot get the vaccines themselves. And so they've walked away from 20-year profession. Many nurses are there as well. And so you're not going to find anything but peaceful protesters there who are just desperately wanting to be heard from their own experiences and stories, because they are very scared that they will get even more sick than they already are from this agenda. And we know that it falls on deaf ears, and we know that the government is not open to changing anything because they are needing to comply to their own agendas. It is pretty depressing when you jump into it with all emotions, that's for sure, because it just seems so inhumane. But we know that this is an important time for humanity to pick a path, choose a lane. Where are you going to go? Are you going to keep suppressing yourself and hiding the truth, or are you going to realize that your truth is a profound weapon? It's going to encourage you and strengthen you to speak your truth. and it's going to profoundly help humanity. So I encourage all influencers in New Zealand to be able to step up and be able to understand that this protest is simply about dropping the mandates. And while everyone else has their own personal wish lists of what would be going on too, and what would be really great to get as well, the overall census is drop the mandates. And so there are a whole lot of other groups hoping to get other things attached to it, and that's fine and it's understandable. But the majority is to drop the mandates. And so it's very passionate being there because everyone truly has that common interest. So it is fantastic times really as everyone is finding their communities together and finding strength in talking to each other. And if you're not able to get to the grounds yourself, I highly recommend you use your keyboard skills to be able to share and guide people to appropriate footage of the actual events that have occurred in the grounds over the last week, to be able to show that this is a peaceful demonstration and that we are wanting simply to be able to get people back to working where they want to. Even though it's very interesting, because when I ask people this question, would you go back? If you could get your job today, would you go back? And they're so disfranchised and they're so upset, and they've kind of had their veil of tolerance removed. They actually realized it's not even a workable system. The health system is not even workable, and that is not health, and it's not for people. And it's not to empower them and to keep them healthy. In fact, it actually has got another very, very dense and very distasteful agenda. And so it is a grand awakening for those, and we hope that they get respected enough to be heard by their fellow peers and in their own professions and in their own social circles and communities. It is fascinating times, and I just really want us all to keep sending out great epiphanies and big moral compass checks for everyone who is being complicit and compliant. If you don't say anything and you are not picking a path, you absolutely have, because you're just allowing things to unfold. So you've made that choice. And so you're letting others having to speak for you, and you're having to let others toe the line and hold the line for everyone else. And this is what I have also noticed, is a lot of people were assuming like certain figures in history to fix everything. And it's not possible for one person to fix everything and to help all. We know, for example, lots of people lean on an influencer thinking that they're going to be the solution, but it has to be a collective. It has to be the majority that change. And so I know a lot of people who are disheartened by a certain president in the United States who didn't do the changes they desperately needed, even though they knew his heart and intentions was to do something that they agreed upon as well. It's like they just stood back and watched to see if he could do it, but they didn't see how they could. And unfortunately, I do know there were many people that wanted to step up and support him, and they were vocal, and they were very heavily punished and penalized and censored. And so it is very challenging, and I'm very sympathetic to those people who have tried to add their voice of truth and reason and have been profoundly limited and attacked for that. And I know many people have lost their Facebook accounts through that, which is pretty heartbreaking for those who treasure all their photos and all of their posts and all of their communities that they've built on there. And it is challenging. It is very challenging to have lost that connection, but super purposeful at the same time. Because many people forget that they actually have to honor all of the life contracts that they have with people in their physical lives as well. And so when you're trying to be a hero and save the world online, you may be overlooking the family members that are right in front of you and know you personally, they actually need more of your support to be able to help support them through whatever they're going through. And so it is tremendous times, and I know I say that all day long, but it is, and I do find great peace and balance when I remember and remind myself all is well. This is just unfolding as it needs to unfold. And I think for New Zealand, we've sort of seen the darkest part of it, and now we are seeing the growth and expansion of that dark day. And so it is very exciting to be able to sort of see what movement and what it creates from this, as this movement is growing more and more and more and more and more. So, and again, I know that this is not unique for just New Zealand. I know that in Australia, they're having another big catch up in their capital again this weekend. And it will be tomorrow, and we can just send love and healing. And we know Canada is still going strong, and we know that it looks really challenging, but we can trust that every country is experiencing exactly what it needs to have their bigger awakening for those people who are still not aware of it or still afraid to speak out. It's so easy now to see the disconnections and the distruth and the other agendas that it's very easy to have the confidence to say, I don't think that looks right. And so keep strong, my friends, keep strong. I know that this is, it's obscenely crazy times, but it's fantastic times too, because how absurd one side is, it is really showing to all the power that they control. And so we don't feel manipulated or pulled into going into anything that is going to take our freedoms or just empower us. And we know the difference now between what empowers us and what disempowers us, because we've done so much of our own inner work. And we love ourselves, we love our bodies, and we love all the lessons that we've had to endure. So we are masters now at identifying all range of emotions. So then we can support and guide people through their journey, and simply listening to people share their journey and love them and support them and give them bigger perspectives that they may not have considered before is key. We don't have to preach to them. We just need to listen to them and support them. And if they haven't been able to identify the lessons and growth that they have done on their own journey, it's really good for you to celebrate them and honor them and praise them for all of their steps forward. That's it, my friends. That is how we support humanity. That is how we love each other, and that is how we support each other. So love you guys, super proud of all of your own steps. I know you're all taking this quite seriously and actually reflecting on your own approaches, your own agendas, and your own perspectives of how to make sense and balance of everything that is happening around the world. It's fantastic, and it is not for the faint-hearted. And the information from sessions on Conversations with Heaven on Earth is advanced, and it is a lot to process. And so seeing it from the bigger perspective of what we're all going to be experiencing at some point soon, we can trust that better days are coming, and that when humanity finally gets to step into their evolution, advancement, it's going to be well worth all of this experience's lessons. So much love to you. I can feel them all sort of trying to say, and what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And they're all trying to like cram in other information. But I do want these sessions, these little videos to be short and just sort of food for thought during your days. And I know people are even saying when they're listening back to these sessions that they're actually hearing it with new ears as well as they're growing. So well done for all of those people who are taking their inner work seriously. It is hard, but you are your biggest priority. You are your biggest responsibility, and you are your biggest joy. And so you give you love, you give you empowerment, you give you encouragement, you're completely capable of doing things all for yourself. And it's not until you completely empower yourself that then others can actually give to you as well, because you're not draining on them. And so usually when we're draining on our friends to give us everything that we're refusing to give to ourselves, they actually can't give us what we think we really need, because we're just too taxing on them. And so when we actually are completely empowering ourselves and stable and balanced ourselves, that's when they can give us that acknowledgement, that friendship, that whatever we need, because they aren't energetically thinking and feeling that we are energy vampires upon them. And so we want our friends to be our friends, but what are you expecting from others? And what do you feel like you want from others? Because that is often quite a good key to find out where your inner work still is. If you're still wanting to impress people and praise people, and want to be acknowledged in some way from other people, really just unpack that for yourself. This is a really great time to be able to do it, because I know a lot of people are still, I hope I don't have too much inner work, but they don't actually want to truly know what their inner work is for whatever reason. So honestly, look and unpack what is going on for you and why you're still a little bit resistant to honor yourself, love yourself profoundly. Inner work is not scary. What's scary is a lack of inner work. So yeah, just my thoughts that they're trying to tell to me to give to you. And so much love, my friends. I truly wish you have a fantastic day, and surrounding yourself with love that you can give yourself, and be kind to yourself. Be positive to yourself. Stop that self-criticism. And, when you realize that you are capable of giving everything that you need for yourself, what you really need, not necessarily what you want, but what you really need. Let's be realistic here. And then just empower yourselves through that. It is marvelous times. And as the frequency vibration is just expanding and expanding and expanding, we can do so much of our inner work within minutes, days. Really is a choice that we make and then implement it. It is profound and powerful. And once you get the hang of that, you get almost addicted, and you want to find all of this other inner work, because you realize how dense it is carrying it all around. It's exhausting having all of that inner work. It is exhausting having that density. And not only do you find it exhausting, other people around you find it exhausting. And we know with our friends who haven't done much of their inner work, they're exhausting. And we love them so freaking much, but they're just so draining because they're not wanting to empower themselves, and they're very stuck. So we go in, we give them a big boost of love and energy, and we show them and tell them and talk to them about how much we are doing for ourselves to help our bodies, help our minds, help our connections to our teams. We can't force them to do anything that they're refusing to do for themselves, but we can lead by great example. And so, love you. Go and find something fantastic to do today that just really connects yourself to you and keeps you super high vibrational. And remember, some fantastic music is always going to just uplift most people. So find some fantastic songs and sing your heart out and dance like no one's watching.